It's New FM, the beat of the Pacific. You are with Henry and Trina, the All Fresh Breakfast. Good morning.
And we got a very special guest in the building. It's been a minute or two since he's been here with us. We got Stan Walker in the building.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Morning, bro. Thank you for having us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
I did say over the weekend you celebrated your birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know.
Happy
30.
Is that all? Wow.
Oh, man.
Happy birthday.
Happy
it was
belated
mean.
birthday.
It was like just mean having because I didn't want to do anything. But we did it early because my birthday is actually on the 23rd, but because I'm going back to Australia, then my missus like, nah, we're actually going to do one. But it was actually mean. I was the first in bed, though.
Oh, really? Because I've heard once you reach after 25, the hangovers aren't worth it.
No.
Yeah, no.
They're not.
Yeah.
And I just caught myself. It was like 10 o'clock at night. I was like, yep, I think I'm done. I was like, let's go, hun. I'm done.
Henry, you say that like you're not over 25.
I am over. I'm almost 30, and I tell you what, I will live through the hangover every weekend.
I must say, you and your beautiful partner look stunning on the weekend, so congratulations for you two.
She looks so beautiful.
She's on, as you put
look
it.
like a little rat on the side.
How has I think the last time we caught up was actually quite a while ago, and of course COVID-19 has happened in the midst of it. How has been the lockdown 1 and the lockdown 2? How was it for you?
Oh, lockdown 1, the first 2 weeks I thought I was having a mental breakdown because I'd never been, well, actually everybody wasn't used to that. We didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know that was going to happen, and I'd never been that still in 12 years. So for me to be like actually stuck and not allowed to go out, like that's just, I'm like breaking rules from way back.
Yeah.
So I'm
I read
disobedient.
the book, I know.
So somebody says no, I'm like, tell me what to do.
Did you find yourself sitting there just running around in circles, having to deal with everything? Because when I was in lockdown the first time, I sat there with a box of beers every day. Otherwise, I had to peel back every damn layer.
Straight up,
that I've been trying to hide.
did. I literally was probably the most drunkest in NZ. But I actually had to sit with myself in every layer, and I did peel back them all. And honest to God, man, after like 2.5 weeks, I just said, no, okay, this is where we're at. And I started asking myself like questions that I don't think I've ever asked. Even me and my best bro, I walked in the room one time and I said, bro, do you think that you love unconditionally? You love your family unconditionally? Or is it conditional?
Oh,
Was
gee.
it conditional love? And I was
Deep.
like,
Put the beers down, bro.
straight up. And I bringing up my phone, I had a Zoom call, had a massive fight. But like it was like mean because we got to talk about real stuff and seeing where each other's actually at rather than just surface stuff or like, you know. So I actually really enjoyed it, and it changed my life, to be honest. Like it changed everybody's life. That's the good thing about lockdown is that we are all in this together.
Yeah.
Like everybody went through it. It's not like a country's exempt or a city or a town. Like literally the whole world was in it. So, man, I don't know. I love that. And then the second one, I was ready. I was out of Auckland. I was like, I ain't coming back there. Bye now.
Did you get a lot of work done during the lockdowns? Any work at all?
I did a lot of online stuff, which was weird. I still find that weird. I do like it because I'm actually quite I get like anxious around heaps of people.
Me too.
Yeah,
I get
same.
I'm shy, and like people think because I'm Stan Walker that I naturally say hello.
Yeah.
Unless you're coming to my house, obviously I'll say hello. You're coming into my house, I'm going to make you a cup of tea. But if I'm going to somewhere else, I'll be in the corner go, oh no, you go first, bro.
Yeah.
Like I struggle
Yeah.
to talk to people in the general, and I hate being touched, hate being yelled at. So
Same. Social anxiety.
so yeah, so I loved it at home, like being able to like do these lives, but not get touched, yelled at.
Yeah.
And if people were being idiots, then I'll call them out. I was like, you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Blah. So I was like, bye now.
And then, of course, it leads us to your book.
Yeah.
And over lockdown, I was doing the last kind of edit of the whole thing. Had to read through it and like, you know, just change heaps of stuff. And man, I learned so much about myself,
Time for
Why did you
reflection.
decide now was the right time to do it?
I don't know. I just said yes straight away. I've been asked for like years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, for years from different people and different companies. Like, oh, we want you to do a book, and I'm like, nah, I don't really want to do one yet. I'm still young, I still got more to live.
Absolutely.
And then last year, August, I think, got asked. And I was like, yo, and I knew by saying that I'm gonna go all in.
Have to.
As soon as I heard through the grapevine that you were doing a book, I was a little concerned because I thought, is he going to be as honest as I know we want him to be? And I sat down and I read. I only got through half the book. last night, and I thought, damn, he really
Oh, yeah.
divulged everything.
I had to.
Yeah.
Because how many of our own people are still sitting in the dark and
Yeah.
they can't even say it? Especially like you think for like more so brown men.
Yeah.
If you talk about anything like that, soft or stuff, we still got that stigma. Don't be soft.
Yeah.
You know, these ugly words that are said out of us if we be vulnerable. So like, I had to do it. I was like, well, if there's going to be someone that's going to shame themselves, it might as well be me. I've had everything said about me anyway. So if this can help people and, you know, help people like me or people who've been through the similar things and help them to be able to digest and go, oh, yo, this is not right. Actually, nah, I want to be free too. Then, yo, this is what it's all about.
Because in order to tell your story, you also had to tell part of your family's story.
Yeah.
Did you, before the book was in the process of getting written, did you have to sit down with them and say, look, I've been given this opportunity and I have to be 100% transparent in my story?
Yeah, I told them, and they were good. Like in my family, we're staunch, like they're solid like that. And my dad's been reading the book. I don't even know if he's ever read a book besides the Bible. For the first time, he rang me up. He goes, "Far, son, I get it." He goes, "Far, I love you, son," because there's so much stuff that my mum and dad didn't even know. And there's so much stuff they didn't know, like, you know, why I was like I was. And I think over the years, them finding out about stuff, the natural thing for parents and for parents like mine who everything's like get angry if you hurt yourself, you know, just a natural thing. They try and overcompensate for years of not being able to be there for me. And because they're doing the best that they can. But in doing that, they're not actually asking me or even getting to know what the actual problems are or what's happened and how I need help and how I need to move forward and how we need to move forward. So they've learnt so much. I knew it was going to be hard, like, for them to read it. Like, I was nervous because I've got such a vivid memory of everything from like when I was 2 years old.
I did see a story in there that you recalled quite early on about being 3 years old in the kitchen. I'm not going to say what it was because obviously I want people to go and get the book. But you're 3 years old in the kitchen, and it struck me. I was like, how can he remember at 3 years old trying to do that to himself in the kitchen? Like, how do you? Is it playing back just on a loop in your head?
Yeah, I can't forget anything. That's why, I mean, I always look at other people who have been through stuff or I know that they've seen something, and I'm like, I sit there sometimes and I'm looking at them going, do you just act like that never happened? Like, because I can't forget anything. I remember everything so vividly. Like, I remember my great-grandmother dying, and I remember her being sick on the bed in the lounge and stuff like that. And I looked at the time when she died. I was still 2 years old.
And you remember the time?
I remember everything. And I told my mum and dad what had happened. They're like, how do you remember that? I was like, I don't even know. Like, so, yeah, it's just, it's a good thing and a bad thing. Because I can't ever forget and I can't ever unsee stuff that I've seen or experienced.
Telling those stories again when you're writing the book, was it hard for you? Because you did say in the book that you had forgiven, you were moved past it. Was it hard to then relive in such detail? Because you had to tell the story in detail. Was it hard to relive those stories?
No, it was quite therapeutic, eh? Like, it was like doing therapy because I was like learning about myself for the first time as a kid and trying to understand or even just have like grace for my own self as a kid. Because I thought I still held so much responsibility and so much blame for my own self. Yeah. And I was just like, far out. I didn't even know I was a bloody child. Yeah. You know, of half the stuff. But that stuff was easy. I was more nervous about talking about stuff that's happened in the last 12 years.
Really?
That's the biggest struggle. It's not even like my childhood. I can easily like, because I'm so detached from that stuff. Yeah. And, you know, I can talk about it so freely and so open because I've had years of, like, dealing with it and forgiving and processing it and healing. It's the last 12 years as an adult where you've lost your child resilience and, like, you know, you don't know defeat as a kid. As an adult, isn't adulting hard?
Oh, yeah, I refuse to do it every day.
Like...
My parents still do my washing.
Like everything, like, you know, like adulting is hard. We can't run into the corner or like mama or papa or go to your nan and kuros. Like literally, you have to face that on your own. And then you're responsible for other people. And now I'm responsible for a nation at the same time. I feel like it in my, you know, who I am to people, and I know who I am to people, and it's just like, shit, I've got myself into a bit of it. But like at the same time, I love doing it. But man, it ain't easy. I thought coming in here, I was so green and so happy. I didn't realize I was gonna do half the stuff that I've done in the last 12 years, as in like go off the rails and become addicted to this and do all these different things, and like now I'm just like, oh, now I can talk about it and not have to hide it, because like that's the thing. I'm Stan Walker, so I'm only going to be Stan Walker to people. I can't bite back at somebody if my nan just died and they're like, oh, can I get a photo? I'm like, oh, sorry, I'm tired. And then they're calling me a dickhead, or like saying, oh, you think you're so cool, you're better than us. And I was just like, whew.
No, I'm human, actually.
Yeah, so just learning all that sort of stuff, and yeah, I feel like just this has come to a end of a very long 30 years season of like my first chapter of my life, like with so many different things in it. So it's buzzy. It's buzzy.
Speaking of that long 30-year chapter, within the book I found you saying that you were struggling to love yourself. So now that you've just turned 30, do you love yourself?
Oh, hard.
Yeah.
You have to, like, I'm so like, I used to just be like, oh man, I would change this, I would change that. And then I remember hearing this pastor, he was preaching, he goes, you know, I wouldn't have chosen half the stuff that I've been through, but I wouldn't change it because I wouldn't be who I am today. And I struggled with that. I just struggled with that. I was just like, but I would change everything. But at the same time, I wouldn't think the way that I think and be who I am today and gone through all of that to come out on the other end. Like where I'm at in my life now, like, honest to God, I've got the best life in NZ.
Yeah.
Like, I've got the most amazing family. My partner's bloody sexiest in the whole of the world, and she's incredible. She's my best mate. Like, I've got my friends and family are healthy. Like, we're sorted. Like, we're going to buy a house together, me and my partner, and like, just like, you know, like, I'm just like, I could moan about so much stuff, but like, I'm actually so happy, like, and just to have that love around me, and reminds me like, yo, I'm on. And you have to gas your own self up.
Yeah.
Like this whole like, oh, be humble and stuff. I was like, that's not being humble.
Yeah.
I was like, you can know your value, know your worth, and go, I'm on. I'm the man.
Have to.
And be still actually have humility. It's just we're just not used to gassing our own selves up because we think it's a cocky thing. But man, look in the mirror and go, yo, you're on.
Yeah, yeah.
Henry is very good at this.
I do this. I've been teaching everyone. Look, no one's going to gas you up if you don't gas yourself up.
Straight up, eh?
I can't sing for shit, but I walk around sounding like Aretha Franklin in my head.
Let's go.
Harmonies with Henry.
I walk around and everyone's telling me to shut up. And I say, no, I am going to sing because I'm sexy.
In the book, is, you know, like, I suppose since Idol days, we've heard all these weird and wonderful things about you, and you're like, oh, it's just rumors. Does the book clear up all those weird kind of things that we've heard from even way back in Idol?
I think so. I don't really know, because I literally think I've had everything said about me.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I literally, like, I've been dead.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, literally, there's been an RIP Stan Walker page.
Yeah.
Apparently, I was on P.
I
was like, man, I've done a lot of things, but definitely ain't done that. I was like, come on, like, I've been everything. I'm supposed to be sleeping with this person, going with this person. I'm this and that. I've been called everything. I've been accused of so many things, and there's so many things that I have done, and there's so many things that are just always just going to be rumors. But the thing is, like, there's no trying to justify anything in this. This is just sharing my story, my like truth, and just everything that I've been through without trying to even like. I was saying to my missus, I was like, she was helping me do the book, and one of my mates, because even people who have hurt me, and I've hurt people, I still wanted to honor them in a way, and not, you know, mana stomp them because I've been hurt by them. Like, there's still a way of like having, like, honoring them, even though it is what it is. Like, everybody hears, like, even when we were doing the book, forgiveness is a big thing. I feel like that's my like superpower. Yeah. Because I'm so glad I don't have to live with unforgiveness, because it's like a rotting disease that rots you from the inside. Yeah. And so I was talking to Margie, who was writing the book as I was talking to her, and she couldn't get the concept of my forgiveness for my father. And I was just like, but you don't understand. I was like, it's a miracle of where we're at. There's no logical way for this miracle that is me and my father. He's like my hero. He's my inspiration. He's the one that teaches me to gas myself up. He's the one that looks in the mirror and goes, Rosh, you're the man. Rosh, you're amazing dad. And I've learned that from my father. And he fathers all the fatherless, like, he's just incredible. And so, like, that thing, like, you know, just forgiveness and stuff, I think that's one of the biggest themes in this whole thing. It's not just me, but it's my family as well, and how, you know, anybody is capable of being anything that they want, and change can happen even in the most impossible situations. Like, my family is that, and now we're here. Like, I should have been dead.
Yeah.
Everybody should have been dead. Some way or another, either overdosing, getting killed, or something. So, like, it's incredible to see where my family is at this day, and like, man, I'm proud. Like, I'm like, yo, we on whānau.
Yeah.
I suppose it is an incredible example of change. Like, I haven't read the book, but I've been living life through Henry all morning, getting the details in the book.
Cool.
But, you know, even with your dad, like, what an incredible change there. So I suppose if he can change, any of us can.
Like, straight up. Like, just for anybody that is listening, if anybody's seen Once We Warriors, he's 20 times worse than Jake the Muss, because he enjoyed it. He like lived for wrong breathing or looking at a certain way just so that he can smash you. Like, and he is the most, like, if you saw him now, he's like, he texts me, he's the weirdest person in NZ. He's like, hey son, he always calls me son. Everything's, he goes, love you son.
Is it easy to laugh about now?
Oh, hard. Like, and that's the thing, the way we talk and laugh about the stuff that's happened, everybody thinks, oh, you're just trying to deal with it. I was like, it's laughable because it just seems so far removed of who we are today. It's like, did that actually happen? Was he actually this ugly person?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just, it's incredible. I'm just excited for people to read it, and hopefully it can help anybody in any walk of life. Like, you know, I've learned so much even just being in this industry, like, you know, coming from such a staunch, ruthless kind of background where, you know, it was just a lot of gangs and all that sort of stuff. But in the industry, learning things about people, like, I love it, I love learning, because I actually did not know nothing. I still know nothing.
I've already learned something right now, and I've probably heard this a million times in my lifetime, but for some reason it just hit when you said forgiveness. You know, it can be like a toxic sickness. It's just you're carrying it around. I feel like I still carry a bit of that around, so today I'm going to work on forgiveness.
Yeah.
Learned something.
Yo.
I haven't even read the book yet. I'm just living it through Henry, but I've already forgiveness. I'm going to go home and work on that. I'm sick of having that thing on my shoulder, you know?
I guess the next transition after the book is the movie.
Hey.
Ooh.
Is that in production? Is that in talks?
But I would definitely do a movie, eh?
Who would you have play you? If you can't do it, who would you have play you in the movie of your life?
Jeez, I don't even know.
Anyone.
Someone on. Someone on.
Because I tell you what, not to be like, oh, but that's a heartbreaking story you've lived.
Yeah.
That's I sat there trying to wipe my tears. I thought, to see, because I think from the outside looking in, you're always laughing, you're happy.
Yeah.
So I think for the most part, we thought, oh, here's another Maori from Australia singing with the guitar. And I think it was hard for us to sort of separate that and realize the story you come from. So I want to say thank you for being not only brutally honest, but extremely transparent.
Oh, yo, nah. I love it. I'm just, what I mean, like, the fact that I can actually do that, and I'm alive to tell these stories, like, and I'm, like, free. Like, that is the most gangster feeling ever. I'm like, oh, this makes me actually want to cry. Because, like, imagine being a little kid and, like, trapped in your head and, like, lost, and it's not your fault. That's why I have to do it for all these kids. I'm sick of seeing our people, like, die. Like, we've got the worst rate of suicide in the world, and yet we're the most beautiful people. Like, you think of all of the islands, all of Polynesia, Pasefika, we're so beautiful. And I want to do that for all of our people. I want us to, like, we're already leading in so many things, but, like, to be alive and to be well and know that, whoa, we got purpose and we're the best. We are the best.
Absolutely.
Like, we don't have to be no Beyonce's and Chris Browns. We got our own here. Like, we got our own, and we're the best at it. straight up. So that's why like I do all of this, and I'll be the one to, because I get to do it now.
What would the 30-year-old Stan Walker say to the 8-year-old Stan Walker if he was standing right in front of you?
Oh, that makes this is the first time I've got emotional about this book. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna be an alien, but you're gonna be the best alien, and you're loved unconditionally. It's not your fault. Actually, yeah.
Well said, well said. I commend you because I guarantee you more than a handful of people will really take something away from your book. I even have, I just feel like you need to wake up every day and just be grateful, because some people haven't lived quarter of the life that you've lived and moan and complain every day. So I think that's why it's important to, you never know what people are going through, eh?
Yeah, hard.
Just chill, relax, live your life, do the best that you can. But definitely you're definitely going to help a lot of people with this book.
Yeah, I hope so.
On that note, Stan Walker, Impossible My Story, out next week? This week?
Next week.
Next week. Is it
I
the
think.
14th of
The
October.
14th of October.
Pre-order now.
Yeah.
Let's
Anything you
go.
want to say to your fans, my bro?
Just thank you. Thank you for staying along the ride with me, even though I'm a lot of things.
The vulnerability is real. Make sure you go get your tickets for the book tour as well. Tickets, space.nz.
Oh, yes. Ticketspace.nz. Yeah, going on tour. Forgot about that. Hey, my mum's messaging going, pump the tour. I'm like,
Plug the tour.
We will link that all up on our social media. Ladies and gentlemen, to The Breakfast Show, Mr. Stan Walker.
Thank
Let's go.
you.